the whole Logan Paul, Nina Agdal, Dylan Danis thing that's going on.
What do you think of that?
Pretty
funny. No?
Why are you smirking?
It's funny.
Well,
I think everyone thinks. I mean,
I
feel bad for her though. Like I do.
I genuinely actually feel bad for her.
I do.
Why do you think not that many women are
funny.
coming to her aid or trying to stand up for her?
Well, what do you mean? I think first off, that she's in a world right now that you're in the UFC fight, fight world. That's a whole different. That's what I was saying just now. Like Andrew, a whole different level of troll. People that don't understand that world, which I very much do because I love Dana White. I love MMA fighters. A lot of these people are my friends. I get that how they're going to troll, So I think she's like Alice in Wonderland right now. And Logan is actually a very hated character. He's hated for a lot of reasons, a lot that has nothing to do with what he does in the ring, but more to do with talking, like he came after me on his podcast once, and so the problem isn't that people don't want to defend her. They don't want to defend him because he's flip-flopped. He's turned against his friends. He's turned against his brother. Jake is cool, by the way. I actually really like Jake.
Yeah,
Logan is like very like buried underneath it all. I hate to say this, but there's a lot of bitch behavior. Like when he called me out on his podcast, did you ever see that thing where he was like full on acting?
He's talked shit about
what did he say about you?
Dude, did you see?
I can't remember what he said about you.
I think he's took more shots at us.
Clip when you guys edit this of like when he was like, it's like he does things when he knows he has to. He wants to basically placate the left and the right. You get what I'm saying? At different moments, and so when he was placating the left, he was suddenly like, white privilege is real. If you are white, you are privileged. And I have finally found the moment where I have realized this. And then his little homeboy to the left starts taking shots at me because I don't support Black Lives Matter, which is just wild to have two white men. I don't know. The whole thing was just wild. So I, said something on Twitter and then he like privately wanted to be like, oh, like, no, I'd love to have you on the show and we can talk about it. I'm like, I said right when I sent the thing, I said, he's never gonna have me on a show because that was all about showing the left that he was whatever. And he's not about that life because if he meaningfully said that and thought it was real, like, that I'm this big bad person who doesn't support BLM, why are you doing it in a room filled with a bunch of white guys? Have me on to talk about what I actually think. You guys had me on, some people agree, some people don't agree, but at least have the conversation. If you're saying what you say meaningfully, didn't do that. And then kept pushing it like, oh, yeah, no, definitely going to have you on. Then I hear nothing from him. And then privately, when all the Kanye stuff starts happening, he's like, hey, can you get you and Kanye come on my show? And I said to him privately on Twitter, I was like, oh, so you weren't available this whole time
and
for the last 2 years.
Damn.
Yeah, he was. So you know what I mean? He's all about getting the clicks. And so that's bitch behavior. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind having a disagreement with you, but you better believe what you believe. And I don't think anybody knows what he believes, but we know what Jake believes. You know what I mean? Like, Jake is much more like, he's not trying to just say stuff to stay relevant. And he will say whatever he has to say to please the YouTube gods, to please the left. And I think that that's not attractive.
Yeah. Did you see that Dylan Danis has like a secret photo?
Listen, Dylan Danis has been going hard. Like, I mean,
it is absurd. I feel bad for Nina.
Okay.
I want to say this, and I think she's like,
she's just
for any girl to have to go through that. That's fucked. But it is absurd how many different photos there are of just even like old men, like and like you know what I'm saying, like DiCaprio. Like that's dope. Like
yeah, I mean that. I don't think that's a bad thing. That's
Titanic,
he might as well own DiCaprio. Great, but I wanted to say, are you ever like? So you saw the video about like the sausage? She's talking about how she needs that.
Yeah,
it does. I think it did over 200 million views on Twitter. Have you ever
I think he got 2 billion in like 40.
Are you ever like, how the fuck, like, how are so many people tuned into this?
You mean like why are there some people that are watching it? I think it's because he just went so hard over and over again. But there is a lesson to be learned in what's happened to her too. It's she looks pretty young when she's saying all the stuff. And I think that women experiment with feminism and, that like we're talking about, sex sells and everyone says it and they think it's cool and it's relevant. But at the end of the day, and this kind of gets into what Andrew Tate and I were talking about, like men don't want that, right? So you can do that. You can make money. You can become a model. You can, be invited to all the cool parties. But when men have to actually think about who they want to be the mother of their children, who they want to bring home to mom, and you have an internet, videos of you talking about how much you want cock, it's just not gonna play well, and what it does is I think it hits at something in a man's biology. Like, men want to know that a woman is theirs. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And then when you see, okay, she was this person's and this person's and this person was paying the sub to watch her be half naked, And so women have to think long term about what they actually want, because if what you want in the short term is to make some money, there's plenty of ways to do it. You know, become another influencer, Instagram model, you know, but all these women are going to suffer from it.
Yeah.
I mean, Kim Kardashian, you've got Emily Ratajkowski, find me the man that is going to marry her. And what happened when she did get married? She got cheated on.
But who's at fault there? Because are the guys at fault because they give them all the attention, or are the girls at fault because they're like, yo, this is so easy. I can just post a picture of my ass, make this money.
Trades. You know, that's what I'm saying. You're trading your present for your future. And then I think when those women get older and suddenly now they're not the hottest girls, you're not getting hotter as you age as a woman, right? You know, there's always going to be a younger 18, 19, 20-year-olds on TikTok doing the exact same thing, making the exact same money. And the men are going to start looking at them naturally, you know? And so now you're washed up, you know, and the ass pics aren't ass picking.